Hello there, good evening indeed, and many thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News tonight. And as my colleague Anangwe just ended, let me start by sending condolences and comfort to the families of the western, northern and southern provinces victims who lost their lives in the disasters that happened from yesterday night. And welcome to our tonight's edition. This is what is coming up. President Paul Kagame on Wednesday consoled the families of the victims of the landslides and floods caused by heavy rains in the western, northern and southern provinces on the night of Tuesday to Wednesday, May 2nd. To other matters, the proposed spending of the 2023-2024 will be over 5 billion Rwandan francs, which is an increase of 265.3 billion Rwandan francs, representing 6% compared to the 4,764.8 billion Rwandan francs of the revised national budget for the current fiscal year 2022-2023. Greetings to you from wherever you are watching us from, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Sam Kalisa, and as we kick it off with the tragedy that happened, the floods in the western, northern and southern provinces, a message by His Excellency President Paul Kagame to the population affected by flooding and landslides. Kigali, 3rd May 2023. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, expresses his solidarity with those affected and wounded, as well as his deepest condolences to the families of the victims of the landslides and floods caused by heavy rains that affected different parts of western, northern and southern provinces during the night of 2nd to 3rd May 2023, so far claiming the lives of 127 people. Rescue interventions are ongoing in the most affected districts: Rubavu, Ngororero, Nyabihu, Rutsiro, Karongi, Gakenke, Burera, Musanze and Nyamagabe in order to secure renegade citizens. They include evacuation and temporary relocation of residents from affected and high-risk areas while rains are ongoing. Teams are already deployed to affected districts to provide required assistance. The command center is actively coordinating emergency response. Relevant institutions will continuously liaise with the districts to coordinate all required interventions. We thank the residents for affected districts for their collaboration, and we are making every effort to ensure their safety and well-being. End of the announcement by His Excellency President Paul Kagame, who ended by saying that he is personally monitoring this particular situation. Moving ahead still on this matter, 177 residents in western and northern provinces have lost their lives due to the floods that occurred from heavy rains. The government of Rwanda has said it will continue to secure renegade citizens. We do have the report with Ghislaine Mugwaneza.
This Wednesday, heavy rains that resulted into floods has occurred in western and northern province. The flooding has negatively affected the residents, whereby 127 residents have lost their lives. The families of victims are requesting help from the government in order to bury their people and get shelters. The government of Rwanda has said that they are yet to know the infrastructures that have been negatively affected by the flooding and landslides. However, the follow-up still goes on. The deputy government spokesperson, Ale Mukurarinda, has expressed the country's solidarity with those affected. He has also assured that the rescue interventions are ongoing.
There are those who are already dead and have been laid to rest. We are also requesting families to bury their people with the help of the government. Another thing is that those who are wounded are advised to go to the nearest hospital as soon as possible, and they should pay no fee for consultation. What we are protesting is that those people who are able to reach at the sites of rescue are encouraged to do so. There is food that will be given to them from Kamira. The rescue intervention is ongoing.
The most affected districts are Rubavu, Rutsiro, Karongi, Ngororero and Nyabihu. Gakenke, Burera, Musanze, and Nyamagabe. However, there are other places that have been negatively affected by floods and landslides. Ghislaine Mugwaneza, RTV News.
Thank you, Ghislaine. In Nyabihu district, some residents express their concern that access to medical services in the Shira sector will be difficult for them after facing last night's heavy disasters which damaged their clinic. Adam Squizera.
Last night, residents of Nyarutembesal in Rwanda sector faced heavy rains and floods which took lives of some residents, including one family of 5 people. We saw a landslide falling upon the house of a family of 5 people. The water from the river of Gichiye and Mukungwa overflowed in the farms of the people, where it damaged various crops on a large scale, plus roads, water and electricity pipes. Shira petrol station and Shira sector office were also flooded. The buildings and medical equipments of the health post of Kazirangara, which serves as health center, were also flooded, where this clinic usually receives patients from 5 districts of Gakenke, Ngororero, Muhanga, and Nyabihu. Then the cleaners came up crying for help as they even rescued some patients. Then after, they called me around 12 a.m. midnight. That's why we rescued those patients by moving them to the other hospital there. The mayor of Nyabihu district, Mukanda Isenga Antoinette, has comforted the victims.
We are trying our best to make a follow-up, and that's why we coordinate with the Ruhengeri Hospital. And another thing we are trying to fix out is to evacuate people who are in the high-risk zone.
The trade between Musanze Vunga Road was difficult today due to the fact that heavy vehicles were not allowed to cross the Gichiye Bridge, which was also flooded. Just as we were doing this story, the water was receding. In only 1 month ago, Musanze district faced heavy rains and floods which destructed properties of more than 800 families. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Still on these disasters, different countries and diplomatic missions as well as international organizations have sent messages of comfort to Rwanda as the country goes through disasters that have so far claimed over 127 lives. To start off, issue number 120 of the Republic of Turkey, the press release regarding the landslides and floods in Rwanda. We are deeply saddened that more than 100 people have lost their lives due to landslides and floods caused by heavy rains on 2nd May 2023 in western and northern provinces of the Republic of Rwanda. We express our condolences and solidarity to the relatives of those who lost their lives, as well as to the friendly people and the government of Rwanda in general. And moving ahead, also the African Union Commission, the chair of the AU Commission, sent his message which reads, "My thoughts and prayers goes to the families of the more than 127 people who lost their lives and those who were left homeless by the devastating landslides caused by heavy rains in Rwanda's southern, western and northern provinces, in full solidarity with the government and the people of Rwanda." And we definitely thank them for standing with us as a country as we go through these difficult times. Moving ahead, today President Paul Kagame received Mr. Vít Rakusan, first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior of the Czech Republic, and his delegation for discussions on ways to further strengthen bilateral cooperation between Rwanda and the Czech Republic. And earlier, before he was received by the President on Wednesday, the Minister of Defense, Major General Albert Murasira, received Vít Rakusan for discussions on bilateral cooperation in the field of defense and security. We'll move ahead to matters related to economy and budget. The proposed spending for the 2023-2024 fiscal year will be more than 5 billion Rwandan francs, which is an increase of 265.3 billion Rwandan francs, representing 6%, compared to the 4,764.8 billion Rwandan francs of the revised national budget for the current fiscal year 2022-2023. Parliamentarians tasked the government of Rwanda to revive delayed projects as well as increase efforts in the agriculture sector.
The budget framework paper and medium-term budget estimate for the 2023 to 2024 and 2025 to 2026 fiscal years, the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning indicated that the economy of Rwanda, like the rest of the world, battled various challenges including the Russia-Ukraine war, hence a 7.3% deficit in the country's gross domestic product. MPs highlighted some of the recommendations that can be adopted to regulate state budget for the years of 2023 to 2024.
The floods that killed over 100 Rwandans in the west and other areas should be given due attention.
I would like to ask if there is any hope that public transportation will be taken care of, because I don't understand why in the financial audit report that was delivered to us, it was found that the number of seats in public transport buses has decreased to 3,000.
In East Africa and Africa in general, there are disasters. I think we should find solutions that are suitable for us and that will help in a better way.
The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana, noted that this recommendation will be taken into consideration. However, there are still some hindrances due to the country's capacity.
Some African countries have become reluctant by importing goods that can be even found in those countries, but with the current trends and measures and in the line with the policies of the international lending institutions, Africa has a large and arable land which can be utilized. So the fact that there is war, even far away of Africa, shouldn't result to the food shortage. The measures in place are to promote and invest in agriculture, invest in climate protection, in order to prevent disasters, increasing technology-based innovations in agriculture, ensuring quality storage of produce, but most importantly, enhance intra-Africa trade.
It is expected that Rwanda's economy will grow by 6.2% in the next fiscal year, 2023 to 2024, compared to the 8.2% in the current fiscal year. Jessica Agasaro, RTV News.
We'll keep it to trade and economic matters, but this time related to aviation. Rwandan exporters and importers using cargo planes say that the sustainable solution to problems related to the transportation of goods to foreign countries by plane have been found. It was mentioned after Rwanda, in partnership with the Qatar Airways Cargo, officially launched flights of the cargo plane that is going to be the second operating in the country.
This Wednesday, Rwanda has launched a cargo hub in partnership with Qatar Airways Cargo, which is part of a long-term strategic plan for the cargo division of Rwanda that has seen a rise in cargo load by nearly 2 million kilograms a year since 2017 and 2018. Rwanda Chief Executive Officer Yvonne Manzi-Makolo speaks about the effective results that is expected to come out of this partnership.
The partnership really helps in terms of giving us additional capacity. As you know, we got our cargo freighter recently, so that's added capacity in the market. We have our A330 passenger aircrafts, which we use the belly capacity to sell cargo. So this is an additional way for us to get capacity for our exporters and importers. So we're able to buy space from Qatar Airways for the 777, which the one that you saw coming in.
Cross-border traders have said that the cargo transportation partnership between Qatar and Rwanda has come as a sustainable solution to them.
It is wonderful. For us, really, in terms of logistics and the connectivity of Rwanda to the rest of Africa, in this African trade and common market that everybody is dreaming of, this is a reality. This is a big milestone that we have reached. This freight that has come is a feeder freight. with 100 ton that is landing in Kigali and then connecting to various countries in Africa. And it's very important that we use Rwanda as a hub. Our partnership with Qatar, feeding this cargo from all over Africa, where we have offices, is going to be a big game changer on the logistics and in the freight in Rwanda and in Africa in general.
The Chief Officer Cargo of Qatar Airways Cargo has also noted that partnering with Rwanda is really a good choice.
Qatar Airways generates revenue by carrying cargo from the world into Kigali and beyond, and Rwanda gets a revenue from the ground handling. When an aircraft lands in an airport, there is cost involved, and the service provider for Kigali Airport is Rwanda. So there's a source of revenue for Rwanda. The more we come with bigger aircraft and more cargo, the more revenue for Rwanda. That's number one. Number two, we also provided access to capacity on our aircraft both ways, from Kigali out, but also into Kigali to Rwanda, for Rwanda to generate revenue for themselves by using our aircraft. Africa has to stop being the part of the world that is forgotten by airlines. And Qatar Airways has the ambition to clearly connect Africa to the world, and the best place to do so is Kigali.
The partnership between Rwanda and Qatar Airways Cargo is expected to turn Rwanda into the major African cargo hub. This cargo plane will be reaching 10 African and Asian countries, including Johannesburg, Lagos, Lusaka, Brazzaville, Harare, Maputo, Entebbe, Nairobi, and the United States of Arab Emirates. Sislene Mugwaneza, RTV News.
And we'll transition it to health matters. The University of Rwanda, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, is about to establish a new system of treating patients, basically offering a rehabilitation therapy through technology without having to travel to find these services in foreign countries. Olive Nete.
It becomes like you are.
In collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the University of Finland in Rwanda, a new system is about to be established which will connect patients with medical specialists by using their smartphones in order to solve the problem of shortage of doctors in this field of rehabilitation. This method is also known as digital rehabilitation and was initiated in the city of Kigali, Burera and Musanze districts, where community health workers in these respective places were provided with smartphones.
We found that it's very important to make it digital because the number of professionals are very few in the country and the number of the population is huge, more than 13 million people. So with only less than 400 rehabilitation professionals we have here, we cannot take care of the whole population unless we use digital technology. We want people to start using digital technologies, like we have a smartphone and some digital mobile apps that they can use, and they connect directly to rehabilitation professionals. And at least they get advice or they get orientation on what they can do. Because normally this was a process that takes weeks and weeks, and sometimes you are pending on the queue, you don't get the service.
Kwefuga Robert is among the patients in need of these services due to his disability. He's content about this program since it will be helpful to him.
If you get to find this program where you can even be assisted without leaving your home, that will really be helpful. And if I had my own smartphone, it can benefit me as well. But either way, I can use my child's phone. Among that, you fought for development is also included.
This program is still under research. The Deputy Director of the Regional Center of Excellence in Biomedical Engineering and e-Health at the University of Rwanda explains how the system will assist patients.
We are trying to answer an issue of less accessibility to rehabilitation services. As we have said, our health system, you find that, first of all, we have very few rehabilitation professionals. So those who are very few, they are concentrated at higher level in terms of at referral hospitals, very few at district hospitals. But when we go at the lower level, especially at the health centers, we don't find any a rehabilitation professional. And the people there also, they need the rehabilitation. So that means they are not accessing any rehabilitation services at lower level, where we can call at primary level. So by using digital rehabilitation, we can reach at the lowest level, even at the individual level. And that's what we are trying to solve by improving accessibility, but even affordability. Let's say if someone was to pay a transport coming from rural area, coming to the referral hospital, which is very far, paying transport, paying time.
Jean-Baptiste Byiringiro, the Chief Digital Officer in the Ministry of Health, points out that as a country that has prioritized technology-based operations, technology has a great contribution in the medical field as well.
When you get sick, the doctor advises you on how to take care of yourself, including how to change your lifestyle so that you can go on with the normal life. This technology assists you in connecting with the doctor while you're at your home place by telling you how to behave, such as those with problems in limbs can't keep up with the normal life.
To date, Rwanda has only 400 professionals in this field, yet the number needed in the country is 3,000. While worldwide, 2.4 billion people are in need of these services. Olive Nete, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news production, as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us on this edition of Rwanda Television News. Up until next time, stay safe and have a great night.